There are goals, and there are dreams. But when those dreams are tested and time becomes a factor, how far would you go?
Finding something out like that, it was devastating, I think, to say the least. And you get hit with all these emotions all at once, and I think the biggest thing is it's a loss of control. I'm a pro athlete. I'm used to having control over everything in my life, and all of a sudden that control is ripped out of your hands and replaced with a doctor who's essentially giving you a battle plan to save your life. And all this happened a week before the biggest meet of my life.
June 19th, 2008. A week before U.S. swimming trials for the Beijing Olympics, Shanteau was diagnosed with testicular cancer. Shocked by the news from his doctor, a decision needed to be made. Does he have surgery right away, or forgo treatment and continue his Olympic dreams?
After I explained the position I was in, I was able to go on to the Olympic trials and compete and actually make the Olympic team. Then I was faced with an even bigger decision, and that was if I could continue to delay treatment and go on and represent the U.S. at the Olympic Games. And after consulting with my then army of doctors and going through a battery of tests, they gave me the go-ahead to compete at the Olympics, and it was an experience of a lifetime. It's something that I worked my entire life to do, and stepping foot on that deck for the first time in Beijing, I'll definitely never forget that.
While competing in Beijing, Shanteau set a new personal best in the 200-meter breaststroke. He returned to the U.S. after the Games and underwent surgery in late August, only to find himself back in the pool 3 weeks later. All that he'd been through inspired him to create his own Live Strong cancer awareness event called Swim for Your Life. As you can imagine, his story traveled quickly.
Being a 6-time cancer survivor myself, I had heard Eric's story with testicular cancer and the Olympics, and when we heard about the event here 2 years ago, I got to meet him at the dinner the night before the event. And so we talked afterwards, and that's when my wife and I kind of got engaged with Eric to help him coordinate and promote the event the second year.
When I got back from the Olympics and had surgery, I got back home to Austin, went in to meet everyone at Livestrong, and the first thing the CEO, Doug Ullman, asked me was, is there anything else we could do? And I said, absolutely, I want to meet Lance. So they set that up a couple weeks later. Big group of us went out to dinner, and that was the first time I got to meet Lance, and we didn't talk anything about cancer or anything like that. It was a pretty incredible experience to meet an athlete that has accomplished what Lance has. So after I met him, I went to my first Livestrong Challenge. About 2 years after that, we started the first Swim for Your Life event in Atlanta, Georgia. We actually hold it at Lake Lanier, which is where I grew up going to the lake. And we had probably 75 people come out the first year in 2010. And then last year we had over 300 people participate. So it's an event that has really taken off very quickly. And I try and run it kind of like a Livestrong Challenge, just in the water. And the goal is to continue to grow it and to continue to be involved with it. As long as there's a fight against cancer, it's something that I want to be involved with.
Shanteau began checking in with his doctor every 2 months after surgery, then every 4 months. Now the Olympian only visits every 6 months. And while his life of normalcy continues to grow, so does Swim for Your Life.
The expansion in the participation last year was enormous, and I think we can do double that this year, especially with the Olympics, especially when he gets on the team, and especially when he does so well over there, which we all are hoping and praying for. It can be spectacular.
It's a great event for a lot of reasons, and first and foremost, the benefit and the awareness we raise for the cancer community. All the funds we raise go towards the Patient Navigation Center and the other programs and services that Livestrong has. And at the same time, I think awareness is the biggest weapon we have in the fight against cancer. So it's simply having people out there and acknowledging that they need to be aware of their bodies, not just for testicular cancer, but all types of cancers, is something that is very, very valuable. The mission of this has been always to give back the support that was given to me when I was going through this. at Olympic trials and at the Olympic Games. During that summer of 2008, I was given so much help and so much support by people that I had never met before. And that was part of the reason why I started this, was to be able to, in some way, give back to people who I don't know who will at some point go through this, or have a loved one or know someone that will go through this, and show them the support that was given to me.
Through his struggles, Shanteau has learned to embrace the life he graciously still has. He's learned that there is more to life than the sport of swimming, and that awareness of this disease can change lives, one event at a time. For Ball State at the Games, I'm Josh Blessing.